Hello everyone, myself Assistant Professor Vatsalji Patel from Civil Engineering Department working at Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center NAVSARI. Today we are going to discuss about technical writing and our today's topic is resume building. So be sure you remember this one as for your future prospect because where after completing your degree you will apply for the job. Okay, so for that you need to prepare a good resume which shows your journey or your lifetime journey till now in 1 or 2 pages. Okay, so it is the main one, so be sure you focus it on it very well. Okay, so let's start with resume writing. So before we discuss this, I want to tell you that we usually pronounce this as a resume, but usually mean it is pronounced as resume, but we used to pronounce resume. Okay, so we will discuss it with continuing resume. Okay, so be sure you remember each and every aspect which we are going to discuss in this particular video. Okay, so resumes are technical as well as marketing documents that present the candidate's past and present performance to the prospective employers so that they can assess his or her future potential. It is usually 1 page long but may extend it to 2 pages sometimes. Okay, so a resume is a 1 or 2 page professional document that job applicants put forward to hiring managers and employment recruiters as a tool of itemizing their work experience, educational background, and unique skills. Successful resume includes cover letter too. Okay, so now let us see the important features of resume. So it creates crucial first impression. It will always have catchy sorry sorry it will always have a catchy appearance and contents. It is well organized, properly written, and presented with an apt layout. It is free of errors. Its purpose is to pursue that you have abilities, skills, and personal qualities that the employer is looking for. And a good resume is always accompanied by a well drafted cover letter. So let us discuss about cover letter. So in cover letter we send our request in written form to submit our application. This letter is prepared either in block layout or in modified block layout. Cover letter includes all the standard elements. The purpose of the cover letter are to gain attention and develop an interest in the person about qualification, to carry the request with the help of past performance, to say why you are applying and which job you are applying for. Okay, so this is all about cover letter. So be sure these all important features you kept in your mind while writing your resume. Okay, because it is the main one. Okay, so be sure you show yourself according to it. Okay, and be sure you always write all the things honestly in your resume. Okay, so let's move on to the resume contents. Okay, so first it will start with identification, or we can say personal information. So name, phone, address, email address, etc. will be there. So personal information includes name, address, phone numbers, email address, and website. Under this heading we can also add some additional information like birth date, category, etc. if they are required. Next is career or professional objectives. So you should always draft a career objective for yourself based on your skills and professional aspirations. Do not copy and paste what others have written in their resume. So we used to do things like if we want to prepare resume, we will just find it on Google or somewhere else and copy paste all the things. But resume define yourself. Okay, so be sure you made your resume by yourself and put what qualities you have in your resume as well as your factual data as well as this will be the main one. Okay, and there is no particular format for resume. Okay, so you can write it according to yourself. Okay, but what it should include, we are discussing it. Okay, so this element is optional. Which element? Career or professional objective. So it includes strong statement that relate our objectives. The career objective or goal should be connected directly to the job for which you are applying. The applicant make the statement highly focused and related to the goal of the organization. The applicant doesn't use such pronouns as I and my in his or her objective. Okay, so be sure when you write your objective, it is optional thing. Okay, so there is no proper format, or we can say no rule is there in writing the resume, so you can edit according to your need. Okay, next is educational qualification. So you can see the table here. Okay, so by this format you can prepare a table for it. Okay, so for what we have to write in it, let us see. So if we apply for the job, our education qualification and experience are our highest selling points. The applicant stresses this before he or she moves on the other education qualifications. The name of the institute, degree and graduation, date and marks or percentage or degree should be highlighted. The applicant should begin with the most recent education and work background. Okay, so most recent thing, like if you completed your MTech or ME, so it will be written first, not the 10th. Okay, so education qualification will also be like that. Okay, next, employment or work experience. So always provide in reverse chronological order. So if we talk about this part of the resume should give a brief and specific overview of the applicant's professional work experience. The applicant must draft this part of resume very carefully. Work experience should be given in reverse chronological order by listing the most recent employment first, the title of the position, employer's name of the organization, location of the work, dates of employment, and important job responsibility activities should be included. Okay, so be sure you write it your most recent employment first. Okay, next is professional skill and technical knowledge related to our coursework. Okay, so you can write it like manage a retail design studio producing our this number of films, or we can say hire, train and supervise this number of people, or any other skill which you have extra according to your professional requirement. Okay, then profession affiliation, or we can say membership, etc. So membership of various professional organization and society which you work for with your job. Okay, next is activities and interests. So co-curricular activities should be in brief, and any other special interest will be there, then you have to write also it. Then award, honors and achievement, like academics and non-academics and professional. So if we talk about this, the applicant's achievement, accomplishment, activities and our award differentiate his or her from the rest. They convince the employer that he or she is an achiever and therefore worth hiring. This part should include scholarships, fellowships, awards, certificates, or anything that shows achievements, extracurricular, co-curricular, professional activities, hobbies, and interests must be mentioned. These activities must show that the applicant is a dynamic and energetic person who can accept challenge. So be sure you write this one honestly. So if you know, then you have to write. If you not know, then not write it. Okay, so be honest while writing all of this. Okay, so not for the impressing the employer. Okay, so you should write it according to your achievements and be honest in this. Okay, next will be personal details like date of birth, marital status, language is known, permanent address, And lastly, there will be references like 2 from the university or other organization and 1 from the reputed person. So if we talk about references, this section should always be the last one in a resume. In this part, we mention names of several persons to whom an employer may contact to derive information about the candidates. The name of the reference must be mentioned, his or her designation and full contact address with telephone, fax number and email address should be provided. In any case, the applicant should take permission of the people who are listed in the references. Okay, so this is the all important context of the resume. Okay, so I think so you have good knowledge of resume now on. Okay, so be sure you write all these things. Okay, so let us see one example. So when we have already discussed all the content. Okay, so according to it, one example is there. So you can say name, email and address is there, then objective. Okay, so from which you will define yourself. Okay, for your what post you are applying for or what you want to do in your life. Okay, so for writing the good resume, be sure you write it honestly as well as do not copy paste. Okay, then show yourself. Okay, what things you know, what you want to do for your profession, what are your abilities. Okay, so don't boast in this. Okay, so be sure you write what you are capable for and not promise so much that you cannot deliver. Okay, so next will be education qualification. So as we discussed earlier, so by like this, so most recent. Okay, so we can see here ME in software system, it is to my last qualification or latest we can say. Okay, so in this way you can write your education qualification, then personal experience. Okay, like this. Okay, then software skill which you have, and you can also write it like this. Okay, then accomplish if you have any accomplishment during that time period, then personal detail. Okay, then references. So this is for the example, so you can stop the video and take the screenshot and write it this as a resume example. Okay, so always GTU ask this question in 7 marks, so be sure you remember this question very well, as well as it is most important thing in your life, because all of your journey, all of your study, all of your work will define yourself at job in 1 or 2 pages. Okay, so be sure you maintain this very well. Okay, and this will be the most professional one. Okay, so be sure you write all the aspect and be clear what you want to say and what you have accomplished. Okay, so here I end my session. Thank you all of you.